So hey guys, welcome back to Exploding Dice Gaming. We are still alive, contrary to popular rumours.
I don't know. I think Papa Nogle's taken an interest in me.
Yeah, he loves everybody. So this is really coming about because of the new Warhammer Conquest.
Yes. The new magazine to get started in 40k. Now, as I'm sure I have regaled you guys several dozen times already, I got into this hobby in about 2003 when the Lord of the Rings Battle Games in Middle-earth magazine dropped. It was very similar setup. You got some models, spray models, you got some paints, you got a brush, a dice, singular die, which is probably the cheapest component in that pile, and a magazine telling you how to paint the models you got, what the hobby was about, a little bit of lore and story, and how to play the game. And I think we've been wondering for over a decade now when they were going to take that idea and move it into their more successful, more successful over the long term franchises, Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer. Either Age of Sigmar or regular Warhammer, doesn't really matter at this point.
I mean, they've done a lot of beginners stuff, kits aimed at getting people in, the easy to build stuff.
Oh yeah.
The little pop-up kiosks you get in video game stores.
Yes, there was the repackaging and slightly retooling of the battle for. Oh god, I can't remember the name. That was the starter set I sold in stores. The 5th edition starter set.
The ones with the orcs in it.
Yeah, the ones with the orcs in it. Especially the orcs. They repackaged as the Battle for Vendros and sold them in video game stores and any store that wanted to try.
Yeah.
I think it was a good way for comic shops and other small gaming stores to see whether they would be a market for GW if there wasn't a local one.
But they haven't done anything self-contained.
No.
And they definitely haven't done anything that they were expecting people to expand for a long period of time.
Yes, so quick breakdown. This is a 80-issue run at the moment. They might extend it a little.
Yeah.
The first issue is £1.99. The second issue is £4.99. And every issue after that is £7.99. And they are weekly.
Yeah.
Now that sounds expensive.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking here going $1.99. That's less than one of the 3 pots of paint you get in the kit. So.
Yes, for the first issue, you get your magazine, a set of 3 Primaris Space Marines, 3 pots of paint, full Citadel pots of paint, not these little Airfix starter kit pots of paint, a paintbrush, and the bases. So,
I mean, really, if you're a hobbyist and you just want a pot of Abaddon Black this week...
Or Retributor Armour, or Macragge Blue. Is it Macragge Blue? It is Macragge Blue.
Yeah, go and get a copy of Conquest, because you may as well.
Yes. If you're buying it from Games Workshop, they are limiting it to 3 per customer. I wonder why. I'm now, through the magic of editing, a picture will appear on screen of everything that is in the current run of Warhammer Conquest.
And doesn't it look pretty?
Yes, you get an entire Space Marine Primaris army with a few tactical additions.
Yeah.
I say tactical. Old Mark Space Marine additions, a full Death Guard army, and terrain to fill a board. This will add up to, over the 80-issue run, roughly £650.
Yep.
Now, again, sounds a lot. But when you do the breakdown, like some clever nerds have on various websites, the Space Marine army by itself is £420 separately-ish.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. The Repulsor, that great big tank you see in the middle, yeah, that's about 50 quid on its own, and that comes in with 1 issue. I have had that confirmed by our local GW manager.
Nice.
So
that's another issue that you may want to keep an eye out for.
Yes. Now, the thing with Partworks is that You can buy these in Games Workshops. You can probably buy them in stores like your local newsagents or WH Smith and that sort of thing. They usually do them. However, unless you set up a reserve or go on to www.warhammer40000conquest.com and set up a subscription, you might not get all things. Thank you, traffic. I really appreciate it. Joys of living next on Main Road. Anyway, so you might not be able to spot every issue in store, which is a kind of downside. However, having a subscription does have other benefits. In your first delivery, you'll get a tool set.
Nice.
So you'll get your mold line remover, a pair of clippers, I believe, and a sanding block.
Sounds right.
Second delivery, I believe you'll get a binder set, so you can keep all of your magazines together.
Yeah.
The quality of those I'd like to be seen because the Lord of the Rings ones weren't brilliant.
Yeah.
But this is done. That was done by D'Agostini. This is done by Hatchet Artworks, who are also doing the Warhammer 40,000 Legends novel collection, which is I'm also subscribed to, which is really nice.
It's
but
pretty beautiful.
Yeah. And in like the fourth delivery, you get a painting handle as a special gift. So.
Everybody loves painting handles.
Yes. There is an upgrade to your subscription. You pay an extra £1.50 an issue, and you get more stuff. I think you get like a tray, boxes to store your models in and that sort of thing. But that's a personal decision whether you want to pay £1.50 more per issue. It's up to you.
Again, it doesn't sound like a lot, but spread it out over 80 issues. You're looking at £120 for a set of boxes.
Set of boxes. I'm sure there are a couple of other things like the Warhammer Legends ones. You get some really nice art prints, but yeah, you take a look at what's on the website and see whether you really want it. Well, I suppose we've been putting it off for a while. We should probably crack into this, shouldn't we?
Probably.
What do you want to go for?
Well, it's your set, so I think you should pick.
Right. Well, you're the Ultramarine player, so. Or were, at least.
I was, yeah. It's been a while.
See, I've got to make a decision about this. Do I follow the instructions and do it as this is a new painter and gamer, sorry about the screen wobble, or do I do it as, I'm going to do it as a Blood Ravens force to add to my kill teams and things, and then do the Death Guard as the new one.
I mean, I've got to be honest, I cannot see a reason not to buy at least this first issue.
Mm-hmm.
3 models, even if you're just going to use them for test painting, even if you've got no intention of ever actually using Primaris, that's a really good deal. Okay,
so, just an update, slightly wrong. For the free, I don't know if you can see that, but I will scan it in and put it up on the screen. For the free gifts you get for a subscription, you get painting handle, as we said, the toolkit, which is plastic glue, a mini mold line remover, and some clippers. You get a set of brushes, including a large basting brush, a detail brush, and sort of like a standard large brush to go with the standard brush you get in the starter set, and your binders, and also a Space Marine chapters poster. So if you are interested in the hobby, don't want to paint them as Ultramarines, you will eventually get a poster showing a multitude of chapters that may interest you. For the premium one, you get a Conquest storage box, something to keep your hobby area tidy if this doesn't consume your flat like it does ours, and a set of data cards, so you'll get like the stat cards, which can be useful for the new player.
They can be useful for the experienced player too.
Yeah, this is true. Some dice and some tokens. This is the extra thing, so this is going to be all of the great big poster. Aha! So that's the full collection. Again, referred to the image a few minutes ago, and a nice giant Primaris image.
Yeah.
Although I do hope they do assist us one when that one gets released. But that's that. Ah! They've been clever. They've hole punched.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's... Yeah, because what they did for the Lord of the Rings things, it was a staple-bound tome. And for the binder, what they did was they sent you little plastic pegs, which you had to open up to the centre of the page, and fight the pegs in to hold it in place. And you could only put about 13 issues into a binder. And then they only, but they sent one every 20. So you were always running short.
I mean, I've got to say, these easy to build Primaris. I haven't done any easy to build minis before. I'm very curious to see what it's like painting on blue plastic. I assume a good base coat will just cover that right up.
Yes.
Well, but the actual quality of the miniatures themselves, these are Games Workshop miniatures. They're not in any way inferior to standard. You won't be able to pose them how you like.
No, but then again, the poses are a lot more dynamic than the easy-to-build miniatures that we had when we started, which was the Space Marine at a jaunty angle, and you just fit the bolter and the backpack on.
The Orc with axe and pistol.
Yes, there's that. So, let's jump to the hobby section. You've got, at the beginning of the hobby section, you've got a breakdown of what makes a Primaris Space Marine.
Yep.
Or, at least the armour. How to assemble your models. And the full instructions for this particular kit. So you've got basic guidelines of this is how you put together models and the same. And then we're into how to paint your intercessors. Basically, it starts with doing a base coat of a Macragge blue, so going straight onto the plastic. Now, this is all right for a first-time painter. If you've only with the paints that they've sent you, that's fine. Go for it.
Yeah, it is designed for that.
Yeah, they obviously will be adding more paints as the range goes on, and then what they will probably do is go. And this is what they did with Lord of the Rings. They sent out a second one magazine with more goblins, which was the first magazine, and they went, here's some more paints, and we've learnt a lot of techniques over the last 20 or 25 issues, I can't remember how much it was. Let's go back to our first goblins and update them. And they'll show you new techniques like adding in the silver or doing a wash, and how to paint the eyes, which you literally left as black sockets in that first thing. So yeah, it's just going over how to paint everything. Even though there is a bare helmeted intercessor in this kit, they haven't provided a flesh tone, they haven't provided silver, so you literally have black bolters, gold trim, and Macragge blue armour.
Yeah.
But for a first time painter, even that can be quite intimidating, and they've done it step by step in a really easy way to read. So this will be great for quiet Sundays at your grandparents or wherever, just to keep the kids quiet. And it starts building up to the first battle issue, which will be these 3 intercessors versus the 3 Death Guard minis that you will get in the next issue.
Yep.
So that's going. So you don't actually have any rules for the game in this issue yet.
Are they intending to provide the rules?
Well, they've got to tell you how to play the game.
Okay.
I would be very surprised if they didn't, because this series of articles will present you with just such a story as it teaches you the rules of the game. So basically, they're giving you some fluff, building some characters around these models and then showing you how they work in the context of the game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because it would be, it doesn't surprise me because they would be. I think it would be quite silly to do that and not tell people how to play the game, and it'd just be a painting.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. I mean, that's something else to bear in mind if you're weighing up the relative merits of the cost of getting somebody involved.
Mm-hmm.
If you're completely new to 40k and you know nothing about 40k, this will take about a year, maybe a year and a half, to get you a sizable force.
Yeah.
But it will also teach you everything you need to know as you go along. And if you have a friend who's also looking to get into it,
mm-hmm.
there's probably no better way to teach it to yourself piecemeal.
Yes, especially because you are getting 2 armies and a terrain for over the costs, and that's a huge saving. It is huge. I mean, I don't even think you get this good of deals in their starter boxes.
No, I don't think so. Not armies of this size.
No,
anyway.
certainly not. So at the front, you've got the 40k primer, what the 41st millennium is, what is going on with the Dark Imperium, Age of the Dark Imperium, what's happening in the Imperium, the map of the galaxy, brief primer on the Space Marines, and showing that you don't have to paint them as Ultramarines as described if you don't want to, but
you know what this really strikes me as great for?
Mm-hmm.
The cool aunt or uncle who wants to get a sort of younger nephew.
Yeah.
Or
yeah. Or this is I think certainly this one, and obviously if you want to continue it's up to you, is perfect for dads who want to get their kids into the hobbies. Like, oh, can I paint Space Marines, Dad? Yeah, sure. Here's a magazine. We'll show you how to do everything. Why don't you sit down with me? I'll paint Daddy's toys. You can paint your toys.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Or of course, obviously, mums out there that also like enjoying painting and gaming with the rest of us. Now it's interesting that they've gone for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the original legions.
Okay.
So you've got Iron Hands, White Scars, Salamanders, Ultramarines, Raven Guard, Imperial Fist, and Dark Angels.
Yep.
So 6 Codex, Codex Space Marines lists. One non-Codex.
Yeah,
guys.
I was just thinking they haven't put Space Wolves in there.
Or Blood Angels.
That's interesting.
But they have put in something called the Silver Templars.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm sure I've heard the name somewhere, but I don't know much about them, so...
Doesn't ring a bell to me immediately.
Yeah.
But that is interesting that they chose to have the Dark Angels in there.
I think it's because out of the 3 codexes that are not Codex Space Marines for Space Marines, the Dark Angels are probably the most Codex-like.
Yeah, I mean...
That said, I mean, my mind really goes to Ravenwing and Deathwing, and even the Blood Angels don't do that.
Yeah.
They have the Death Company, but you don't have entire formations of that.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a pretty close approximation of Dark Angels with Codex.
Yeah.
Don't kill me, Mike.
Yeah, you can. No, it's true. So everything takes plasma, and just give Gilliman long hair, and there you go. He's the line.
Yeah, but slightly better because he's Gilliman. Don't kill me, Mike.
I can hear him strangling you from range. But yeah, so
there's a few other nice, cute little bits in here. I quite like this. They've put in a sheet of all the stores in the UK.
Yep.
So if you have bought it from a post office and you don't know where to go, there's some contact details there.
Yes.
Hopefully that will help some of the stores bring in some new customers.
I'm sure if you want to go to, if you want a bit more advice on how to paint these miniatures from beyond the things, go to your local Warhammer or Games Workshop store, and they will. I'm sure that the store guys will be glad to, especially if you bring your minis and your paints, they will love you.
And I mean, let's be honest here. Yes, you're going to watch a lot of YouTube videos telling you how to paint things.
Yes.
That is no substitute for finding somebody who knows how to paint, loves to paint, and is willing to show you exactly how it goes.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think this is a fantastic set. I'm not 100% sure if I'll do the whole thing myself, but there's no question that I'm definitely getting the first box, probably the first two.
Yes, mostly because we can always use more Abaddon Black and Retributor armour. I keep running out of Retributor armour.
Yeah, and, maybe I'll keep going. I've got a lot of hobby stuff to do already, but that doesn't necessarily mean I don't want to add to the pile.
No, this is true. I've got a huge backlog of hobby stuff. In fact, you can barely see my monitor because of all of the hobby stuff in front of it. However, I'm still not sure about whether I'm going to go for the full subscription yet, but you will certainly see a hobby log of what I've done with these minis, hoping by next week. But, okay, so first issue is out now. Sales is in Games Workshop stores and in, I'm assuming it's in your local newsagents and WH Smiths. If you're watching this a bit late, you can go onto the website and probably start a subscription from issue 1 and do back orders.
Yeah.
They usually do.
And you'll want to start from issue 1 if you're doing a set like this.
Yeah.
Just because having the full magazine collection, aside from anything else, generally has massive resale value.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. And also it just... it's little nuggets of easily digestible lore. 40k has been around for nearly 35 years coming up.
Something like that.
There's a lot of stuff that has been written and said and retconned. So, but it is an age of myth. It is like modern myth telling.
Yeah.
So,
also,
come play with your heroes.
Just because I can see this being a bit of a hang-up for some people.
Yep.
Yes, you are going to wind up with 2 armies, not 1.
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody necessarily wants to collect 2 armies.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always handy to have miniatures to test painting techniques on.
Yes.
That you don't necessarily intend to field.
And again, you can always split the subscription with a friend. So one of you gets Primaris, one of you gets Space Marine, Death Guard.
Yeah.
Which, means, okay, you're only getting an issue for you every other week or so, maybe every third week once the terrain starts coming in.
Yeah.
However, does mean you share the costs and you've got someone to play with.
And you've got a little bit more time.
Also, you've got, if you don't like one of the armies, you've got trading things. Find someone go to a local store, say, I'm doing the Conquest things. Maybe the shop manager will take a name and say, okay, I'll find someone else might pop in and say, I want the Death Guard bits and it's not the Primaris, and you can swap with them.
And Facebook's always really good for that as well.
Yep.
There's all sorts of communities out there for selling or swapping your unused miniatures. There's a world of options out there, and most of them involve meeting new people.
Yes. This is a social game. However, it's your hobby. Do what you want with it.
Okay, so this has been Exploding Dice.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and we hope you join us again soon.